Hey, Stack Lessons here. If Checkpoint 1, Cloud Concepts Retrieval Challenge has ever felt fuzzy to you, this is the video where it finally clicks. Let's start. Domain 1 Concepts, the 6 advantages of cloud, global infrastructure, well-architected, the Cloud Adoption Framework, or CAF, and the 7 Rs, are the foundation of every production decision an architect makes. You've learned them conceptually. Now let's run 5 scenarios that mirror the conversations you'll have in real migration planning meetings and architecture reviews, where you have seconds to connect the right framework to the right business problem. These scenarios also match the exam's question format, so the same drill prepares you for both. Quick reactivation before we start. Episode 2 gave us the 6 advantages, the economics list a CFO actually cares about. Episode 3 was global infrastructure, regions, availability zones, and edge locations. Episode 4 was the well-architected framework and its 6 pillars. And Episode 5 covered the Cloud Adoption Framework's 6 perspectives and the 7 Rs of migration. Every scenario today pulls from one of those 5 topics. In real architecture reviews and migration planning, you'll have seconds to match a business scenario to the right Amazon Web Services framework. Each scenario here runs the same way. I read the STEM and the 4 options. You pause if you want extra thinking time. Then I walk through which distractors fall away and why, and we land on the answer with a one-line reason. The goal is to train you to make that connection instantly, the same speed the job demands. This also mirrors the exam's question format, so you'll be ready on exam day. These 5 frameworks are the decision rubrics every architect and cloud engineer reaches for in real migrations and designs. 6 advantages: why cloud beats on-prem on cost and speed, global infrastructure, regions, AZs, and edge locations. Well-architected, the 6 pillars architects use as a design rubric, the CAF 6 perspectives, plus the 7 Rs for per workload migration choices. In the next 5 scenarios, you'll see a business problem and learn which framework answers it, the same matching you'll do in job interviews and architecture reviews. The exam uses the same question shape, so drilling this builds both job skill and exam confidence. Scenario 1. A startup CFO is deciding whether to move workloads to Amazon Web Services, and they ask you point blank, why is Amazon Web Services cheaper per server than running their own data center? This is a real conversation you'll have on the job, and it's the same kind of question on the exam. Which of the 6 advantages of cloud computing best answers it? Your options are A. Trade fixed expense for variable expense. B. Economies of scale. C. Stop guessing capacity. Or D. Speed and agility. Pause here if you want more time. Stop guessing capacity and speed and agility don't fit. Neither one is about price. The real fight is between the top 2. Trade fixed for variable is about how you pay, no upfront capital expenditure, just pay as you go. But the CFO didn't ask about payment shape. They asked why the per server cost is lower than running it themselves. That's economies of scale. The unit price is low because Amazon Web Services aggregates demand from hundreds of thousands of customers and passes the bulk savings along. How you pay versus why it's cheap per unit. That's the split. The answer is B. Economies of scale. A CFO asking why the per unit price beats on-prem is the textbook keyword for this advantage, every time. And here's the wording straight from the Amazon Web Services Overview white paper. Because usage from hundreds of thousands of customers is aggregated in the cloud, Amazon Web Services achieves higher economies of scale, which translates into lower pay-as-you-go prices. If you see that phrasing in an answer choice, that's your match. Scenario 2. A workload must keep running if a single availability zone fails. Which global infrastructure construct satisfies that requirement most directly? Option A. Deploy in a single AZ with backups. B. Deploy across 2 or more AZs in one region. C. Deploy across 2 Amazon Web Services regions. Or D. Front the workload with cloud front edge locations. Think about which construct is the minimum sufficient. Over-engineering is both expensive in production and a distractor on exams. Single AZ with backups is out. Backups restore data after the fact, they don't keep the workload running during the failure. Multi-region is out too. Even though it sounds impressive, multi-region protects you against region-wide disasters, and it's massively over-engineered for a single AZ requirement. Edge locations are cloud front caches. They're a content delivery mechanism, not a fault isolation unit, so they can't keep a workload running through an AZ outage. That leaves multi-AZ within one region, which is exactly what AZs were designed for. The right call is B, multi-AZ in a single region. AZs are the unit of fault isolation inside a region, and on these questions, the smallest sufficient construct always wins. Don't overbuy. Scenario 3. An architect describes a design with this line: the team experiments often and goes serverless wherever possible. Which well-architected pillar does that design philosophy map to? A. Operational excellence. B. Reliability. C. Performance efficiency. Or D. Cost optimization. Think about which pillar literally names those two ideas in its design principles. Operational excellence is about how you run and monitor workloads, not about which architecture you pick. Out. Reliability is about recovering from failure. Out. Cost optimization is the sneaky one, because yes, serverless can save money, but performance efficiency wins because its design principles explicitly name both phrases verbatim. Go serverless and experiment more often are right there in the pillar's own wording. The match is definitional, not inferential. That's how you separate the right answer from the close enough answer. It has to be C, performance efficiency, and here's why. Use serverless architectures and experiment more often are two of its 5 named design principles, straight from the white paper. Here it is in Amazon Web Services' own words. The design principles for performance efficiency are: democratize advanced technologies, go global in minutes, use serverless architectures, experiment more often, and consider mechanical sympathy. When the stem repeats 2 of those phrases back at you, there's only one defensible answer. Scenario 4. A cloud migration program is stalled because the engineers lack Amazon Web Services skills. Which Amazon Web Services CAF perspective owns resolving that? Option A. Business. B. People. C. Governance. Or D. Platform. Pause if you need it, and notice which keyword in the stem is doing the work. Business tracks outcomes and value, not headcount skills. Out. Governance is the rule book department, policies, controls, and risk, not training individuals. Out. A shortcut that helps here: anchor each perspective to a stakeholder. Skills and training? That's the HR and learning and development crowd. That's people perspective every time. Platform, by contrast, is the technology itself, the engineering practices, the tooling, not the humans operating it. Out. The answer is B, the people perspective. Whenever you see skills, training, culture, or change management on a CAF question, your default is people, and it's almost always right. Last one, Scenario 5. A client wants to move a self-managed MySQL database to Amazon RDS with minimal code change. Which of the 7 R's applies? A. Rehost. B. Replatform. C. Refactor. Or D. Repurchase. Run the qualifier rule from episode 5 before you answer. Rehost means taking the same self-managed stack and dropping it onto EC2 with no changes. But RDS is a managed service, so moving to it crosses an abstraction line and stops being pure rehost. Refactor implies re-architecting the application, which contradicts the minimal code change qualifier in the stem. Repurchase means swapping the application for a SaaS product entirely, and MySQL isn't being replaced. It's still MySQL on the other side. That leaves re-platform. Move to Amazon Web Services with a small, contained optimization. Swapping self-managed MySQL for RDS is the canonical example. The right call here is B, re-platform, lift, tinker, and shift, and the reason is almost too on the nose. The example Amazon Web Services itself publishes for re-platform is literally self-managed MySQL moving to Amazon RDS. And here's the exact wording from Amazon Web Services prescriptive guidance. Re-platform, lift, tinker, and shift. You move an application to the cloud and introduce some level of optimization. For example, you can reduce the amount of time you spend managing database instances by migrating to a managed relational database service such as Amazon RDS. When the stem matches Amazon Web Services' own example almost word for word, don't second-guess it. Here are the 5 mappings from today, side by side, cheaper per unit than on-prem maps to economies of scale. Survive a single AZ outage maps to multi-AZ in one region. Serverless Plus experiment often maps to performance efficiency. Engineers lack skills maps to the CAF people perspective, and managed service with minimal code change maps to re-platform. 5 stems, 5 answers. Burn these into Reflex. 4 takeaways to carry forward. Domain 1 frameworks are decision-making shortcuts that architects use every day. They organize real trade-offs across cost, resilience, and migration strategy. In production, pick the smallest sufficient construct. Multi-region is expensive and is only the right answer when the business actually requires region-level survival. Listen to the persona in the scenario. A CFO points to economics, an architect points to a design pillar, and a people problem points to organizational change. Through the CAF mastery of these mappings is what separates junior engineers from architects who can talk confidently in any room. As a bonus, this same mastery will make you fast and confident on the exam. Question 1. A retail company needs to handle a 10-fold traffic spike on Black Friday and then return to normal capacity the next day. Which of the 6 advantages of cloud computing most directly enables this? Is it A, stop guessing capacity, B, economies of scale, C, trade fixed expense for variable expense, or D, go global in minutes? Pause here if you want more time. The right call here is A, stop guessing capacity. That's the advantage explicitly tied to scaling up and back down to match real demand. Trade fixed for variable is the payment model advantage, which is close but not the precise match for elastic spike handling. Question 2. A financial services company must keep its application running through a region-wide natural disaster. Which Amazon Web Services global infrastructure pattern is required? A, multi-AZ deployment within a single region, B, single AZ with cross-region backups, C, multi-region deployment, or D, CloudFront edge locations in multiple cities. Think about which constraint matters most here. The right call here is C, multi-region. The qualifier word is region-wide. Multi-AZ is enough for an AZ outage, but a region-wide event takes down the whole region, so you need a second region to survive. Notice how the qualifier flipped the answer from scenario 2 in this video. Same family of question, different requirement, different smallest sufficient construct. Question 3. An architect requires all data to be encrypted in transit, all access logged, and least privilege IAM roles enforced. Which well-architected pillar covers these requirements? A, reliability, B, operational excellence, C, performance efficiency, or D, security? Got your pick? Let's see. If you said D, well done. Encryption in transit, traceability through access logging, and least privilege identity are 3 of the 7 security pillar design principles from episode 4. When the stem stacks security-flavored requirements like this, the pillar name is the answer. Question 4. A company's cloud migration is blocked because there is no clear policy on which workloads are allowed in which regions, and no risk review process for new accounts. Which CAF perspective should own resolving this? A. People, B. Governance, C. Platform, or D. Operations? Run the decision rule from earlier before you answer. The answer is B. Governance. The keywords here are policy and risk review. Those are the governance perspective by definition. Notice how this contrasts with scenario 4 in the video, where the keyword was skills and the answer was people. Same framework, different keyword, different perspective. The qualifier word always tells you which one. Question 5, and this one tests a concept from episode 5. A client wants to decommission its on-premises Microsoft Exchange server and move email to Microsoft 365 instead. Which of the 7 R's applies? A. Replatform, B. Refactor, C. Repurchase, or D. Retire? Lock in your answer before I give it away. The answer is C. Repurchase, drop, and shop. Replacing an in-house application with a SaaS product is the textbook repurchase pattern. Retire is the trap here. The email function isn't being shut down, it's being replaced with a fully managed SaaS equivalent. That's the qualifier that decides it. Nice work getting through the checkpoint. Next domain coming up. Done and dusted. Checkpoint 1. Cloud Concepts Retrieval Challenge. Try explaining it out loud to yourself tonight. That's when you'll know it's stuck. Catch you next episode.